Hi everybody, we're gonna make homemade baked beans today. What you need to do is get a pound of Great Northern beans and you're gonna soak them overnight in a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I've done that, so I'm on to the next step. What you're gonna do is strain them and just rinse them off. You're gonna put them back in the pot with about a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. You're gonna let that come to a boil and then boil them for 5 minutes and then I'll be back. Okay, during this time, just get a small onion and you're gonna dice it up. And don't worry, they will foam up. Just turn down your heat a little, but just keep them boiling for the 5 minutes. Okay, after the 5 minutes, you're gonna strain these. And you're gonna rinse them about 4 or 5 times in cold water. I just dump them back in the pan, fill it up with some cold water, strain it again. And at this time you can find, I call them rocks, if they're like a harder bean. And rinse those good for about 4 times, and I'll be back. Okay, after they're all rinsed, you're gonna put them in a pot. And this is what I mean about rocks. They're just like a discolored bean. Okay, put your beans back in. You can go through if you see any. Usually I don't find that many. Then what you're gonna do is take your diced onion and put it in with the beans. Then take 4 pieces of salt pork and you're gonna lay those in. Okay, then you're gonna fill this up with water. You want it about 1 inch over the beans. Then you're gonna bring this back to a boil and then turn it down to about 2 or 3. You just want it to simmer and cook them for an hour. So, see, I got about 1 inch of water. Once it simmers, you can cover your pan and set your timer for an hour, and then I'll be back. Just keep watching your beans. You want to at least keep a 1/2 inch of water above your beans while they're cooking. Okay, my hour is up. The next thing you're gonna do is just take the pork salt out of your beans and you're gonna cut it up. I usually cut the fat off and I just keep the meat. So I'm gonna do that and then I'll be back. Okay, then what you're gonna do is, if you have a little bit of water, you kind of want just your water to be right on top of your beans. Just take a ladle and just take out a little of the water. So you want it about a 1/4 inch. Okay, then you're gonna take about 1/8 of a cup of molasses. And you're gonna pour that in. Then you're gonna take a tablespoon of ketchup and a tablespoon of French's mustard. And set your oven to 350. And put that in. Then you're gonna take about 1.5 cups of brown sugar. You can press it down some. And add that. And then you're gonna mix this up. Then you're gonna get about a 13x9 pan, and you're gonna pour this in. Get this all mixed up. And before that, take your salt pork that you've cut up. I cut the fat off. And just drop it in. Get my camera over here. Okay. Then just pour it in your 13x9 pan. And you're gonna let this cook for about an hour and a half. You just want the stuff to be to start getting thick. And when it's cooling, it will also thicken up. And that's the baked beans. I'll be back in a little bit with cornmeal patties, which they call dog bread. And I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks again.